Hi guys, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel. This is your reading for this week. I'm going to do astrology here and a pick a card reading on the pick a card channel. For those of you guys who are new, I created pick a card a few years ago, and some people had used the same name as my pick a card channel or a very similar one. So if you really want to watch my videos then and support me in this, then please go in the description and at the end of the video. I will be dealing with that stuff on my own. But just if you want to watch the readings, that's how you find it. I know it gets confusing with other people copying it, right? So today what we're going to do here is the astrology. And so we're going to go through the major aspects of this week. The reason I'm doing this is that the aspects this week are a lot more easygoing. Well, the intensity is down from the eclipse, but they're not necessarily all easy transits. I've already talked about some of them last week, but we'll get through them, talk about them, and this week it should be a much more passive energy. A lot fewer of the major transits are in aspect, and so therefore it's a decompression week of energy. We are decompressing energy that had got stirred up with the eclipse, the new moon eclipse, as we move our way towards the full moon on the 24th in Capricorn, up here right at the top of the chart for the collective chart. Okay, so we start off with the moon in Leo on Monday and Tuesday, or actually just on Monday, and on Tuesday the moon will move into Virgo. This is a really nice energy for the fire signs. Mars has just moved into Leo last week. Fire signs, so Sag, Aries, and Leo, expect a very bright end to your month and beginning of July. There's some really nice fire aspects that will help us all to move forward, whether you have fire transits or not. But those of you who have fire transits, you'll have a lot of very promising energy through July or into July till about mid-July or maybe third week of July. So it's starting now with this moon transit in Leo. Mars has entered into Leo. The energy is picking up for you guys if you have been feeling lethargic or overwhelmed by the aspect between the South Node and Chiron that's aspecting your placement somewhere in the chart. That energy will get reconciled as Mars is transiting through Leo. It'll give extra energy to all of us, but especially the fire signs. So that's exciting. The moon moves into Virgo on Tuesday and will be there until about Thursday, when it moves into Libra Thursday. And so it must be late on Tuesday that it moves into Virgo and then moves into Libra at the end of the week. So this is going to be very good for earth signs, specifically Virgo. Again, cathartic energy, which means the ability to take a look at what's happened in the last little while. Some of the big transits that have happened for the earth signs are this conjunction with Lilith and Algol over the past week, and definitely this week. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. And then the opposition between Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn will also be worked through, especially towards Thursday and Friday when the moon is at the end of Virgo here. So all of you who have early Libra, late Virgo placements, this is going to be a release of some of the pressure you've been feeling from this cardinal, the cardinal square happened at the end of Libra, but you will be experiencing a bit of a release from the energy of Pluto in Capricorn. So there will be a release of the pressure from the opposition. Now, those of you who have Libra placements on the cusp of Scorpio, I saw this before, but I forgot to write it down. You've been under a pretty intense square between the Pluto and Mars opposition as Mars moves into Leo, or has now moved into Leo. Those of you who are on the cusp of that, this sort of like smiting down intense energy that you have been dealing with is also decompressed, and now you can kind of get back to normal. And so your energy here in this area of the chart. There's not many transits here. The moon will be here, but that's just temporary. This is a time for you to sort of focus on yourself, Scorpio and Libra placements. This is a time when there's less pressure in your life, and it's really good. Virgo is the same thing. All three of your signs are actually, kind of out to the side doing your own thing. The planets have moved off to the other part of the chart, and all three of you really need to only worry about when the inner planets come through. So thumbs up for that. So other than decompressing the energy of the eclipse and this opposition, you guys are just getting back to your own ways. I want to highlight some star aspects. So Venus will be at Sirius this week, especially on Monday. That's the exact. Fixed star astrology, as I said before, is very specific. So you can't say, oh, all week Venus is at Sirius. No, it's very, very specific. So Venus at Sirius is very blessed. Sirius is the dog star. We know about the Sirius portal. There's just a lot of positivity that comes with this star. And so if you want to do any sort of energy work or love directed work with your frequency, with your energy work, this is the time to do it. This is one of the most beautiful times. You really want to make sure that your astrology is in alignment with it, but everyone will generally benefit from this transit. Now, if you're sensitive, jump over this part because I'm about to talk about Algol and Lilith. So Lilith is at Algol this week. And so the 16th, 18th, 19th through the 19th, it's really the direct transit. Now, I know what I said about Sirius and Venus, that it has to be very specific, but Venus moves much faster than Lilith does. Venus's transit is about 10 months for the entire year, or the entire astrology chart, while Lilith's is about 10 months per sign. So we're really looking at different time frames for their orbit. And so here we have Lilith with Algol. And so this week it's definitely a time for you to keep things low and keep things, out of problematic situations, avoid problems, avoid conflict, avoid anything that can bring you down. It's just an energy that you don't want to step into. Many people are probably feeling stressed out at this point to some degree. Like I mentioned in my Are You Feeling Tired video, you might be feeling stressed out from the eclipse, from things changing, depends on how you are with change. And so this could be just added things. And what I'm picking up on here on an intuitive level, that it's more to do with like reacting because you're tired and being more susceptible to responding in a way that you wouldn't because you're tired. So make sure that like in your interactions you're good and you're fine, because this Lilith conjunct Algol is not a good vibe. Okay, so yes, Lilith with Algol, not a good scene. The moon moves into, and so keep it on the low profile. The moon moves into Libra on the Friday and on Saturday this week. So this is the latter part of this transit. Now Libra is sort of separate, and we talked about as the moon moves through Libra, it will decompress a lot of energy for the cardinal signs. So if you have like Capricorn, Aries, Libra, or Cancer transits, this is going to be like a pressure release for you, so that will feel great with that. And the last couple transits will be next Sunday, in which the sun finally moves into Cancer. This will be really great for that opposition. A lot to decompress here, a lot to move forward in Cancer season. I feel like Cancer season will be therapeutic. The sun with the North Node has told many of us where we stand with things, and now as the sun moves into Cancer for this next month, we will do a lot of the emotional processing with the information that we have learned. Jupiter also is going retrograde this week. Now, I'm not going to do a dedicated video for Jupiter retrograde, maybe later, but right now it's just not a good time for me to focus on that. But Jupiter retrograde, just for everyone's peace of mind, Jupiter has the propensity to be very fast paced. So our lives pick up and they become very, very fast. And so increasingly, we might feel overwhelmed while Jupiter is direct, depending on where it's happening in your life. Your life might get oversaturated with new things and opportunities. And the adage is that good things come in moderation, right? Like even good things can be spoiled by a lack of moderation. And so when Jupiter is direct, we might be feeling overwhelmed or stifled by all this positivity coming at us because we can't process it all. So when Jupiter goes retrograde, we have the opportunity to sort of, things slow down, and the pressure or the intensity, of the new things coming into our life is decreased, and so therefore we can catch up with the opportunities that have come into our life in the last 5-6 months and get back on track with those. So the focus really shifts on taking a look at what has come into your life of a positive nature, and then sort of using that to maximize its benefits. Also, the moon moves into Scorpio on the 20th. This is in its fall position here. The moon is at its fall. And so therefore, Scorpios, you will do great. But over through this transit, you might feel, all of us might feel like a monthly low, a little bit of a low, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's going to be a really good end of the week for Scorpios. And yes, and definitely with the sun entering into Cancer, the moon is moving into Scorpio on a trine, and so therefore that energy is moving very well together, and Jupiter is here in Pisces, so that's a grand water trine for the end of the week. I sense a lot of compassion. The last week has been filled with a lot of, the last month, has been filled with a lot of reason, rational thinking, eye-opening experience, thought experiments, those kinds of things. And so now when the transits are moving into the water signs a bit more, even if it's for a brief while, we'll get the emotional catharsis and just like decompression. Some of the transits moving forward that you may want to be aware of is Mars opposite Saturn. That's going to be a big deal. Lilith is going to put pressure on us right until July 4th, but the real crunch time is this week. So just let it happen. We'll see in the pick a card what that energy is all about. And also the last week of Mercury retrograde, because next week Mercury goes direct, so that's exciting as well. So that's the astrology this week. 13 minutes, not too bad. Make sure to drop a like and a comment, and go check out the pick a card reading for this week. And I'm just playing with a different format. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.